Oh yeah. What's up, Cowboys fam? If you feeling like I'm feeling, let's do this. It's time. It's time to make some noise. We all get together. Who's house? Cowboys. And we're stepping on the scene, repping blue and white jerseys, double stars, and our kicks clean. Second to none, like Emmett. It don't matter if we're home or away. We wanna win it. All day, every day, hit the lights, hey, you know how we do it. Cowboys for life, reppin' them boys cause we chose to. We got fanatics getting crazy, hyped up for the silver and blue. Best believe we're rolling deep too. Biggest fan base across the nation, I thought you knew. Yeah, you know we rep together. Every stadium, city, Cowboys fans everywhere. Yeah, you know we ain't stopping. America's team, forever we'll be poppin'. We put it down in every town. Flags running, music pumping every time we score a touchdown. We're fired up and we're getting it. Hyped up, dedicated fans united cause we're feeling it. Yeah, we're loyal to our team too. We're up for one star and we're family, true silver and blue. Yeah, you know we're about it. Throw your hands in the air, stars up, never doubt it. Yeah, it's time to make some noise. We all get together, who's house? Cowboys. And we're stepping on the scene, repping blue and white jerseys, double stars, and our kicks clean. Second to none, like Emmett. It don't matter if we're home or away, we wanna win it. All day, every day, hit the lights, hey, you know how we do it. Cowboys for life. Cowboys, our boys making noise. Another offense is down, we hit them straight in the jaws. Our defense doing what they wanna do. They attacking, sacking, celebrating when the play is through. Back to taking care of business. Like when Randy White and Charles Haley were dominating trenches. And our DBs are playing tough, playing tight, flashback, doomsday, knocking helmets off. Rising to the top cause we're a threat. We've been through it, time to do it. Raise that 6 trophy on the set. Cause you know we got that action. Underestimating us while them dubs keep on stacking. Star game getting major. Dak Gallup, Lamb Parsons, new era playmakers. If you a diehard and you with me, make some noise. We them boys, rep that star mighty proudly. Yeah, it's time to make some noise. We all get together. Who's out? Cowboys. And we're stepping on the scene, repping blue and white jerseys, double stars, and our kicks clean. Second to none, like Emmett. It don't matter if we're home or away, we wanna win it. All day, every day, hit the light, yeah, you know how we do it. Cowboys for life.
Let's make some noise. There he goes right there, baby. Can you hear me?
I'm good, man. We're ready to roll. I was having some headphone issues, but I'm good.
Ain't no time like showtime, baby. And them boys is on the road. Shout out to my guy, DJ Kyle, One Star One Family. Y'all seen it. We just debuted the video here. It ain't even been on the internet a hot 12 hours. So shout out. Make sure y'all go subscribe to One Star One Family. Check out DJ Kai's video. Make some noise. You know, a lot of Cowboy fans are quite frankly saying, well, that's kind of corny, man. You know, why would Cowboy fans do some shit like that, man? Well, it's a lifestyle, Jack.
It's all about opinion.
A lifestyle. You got fans out here that love the Cowboys. I'm sorry that they love the Cowboys more than you do, baby. Show your pride and passion. It's game day. Y'all tap in with us, baby. 10-3 Cowboys visiting the Jacksonville Jaguars out there in your old stomping grounds. Bob, somewhere out there in Florida.
Yeah, that's North Florida. But yeah, man, we've got to show up today, man. There's a very specific reason why I wear the jerseys I wear. My key to victory is right here.
Oh, you going with the feed Zeke, huh?
Listen, man, if we run Zeke 15 or more times a game, we are undefeated, I think, since a year and a half ago. This team, I don't know if the defense of the Jags will be able to handle the 1-2 punch of Pollard and Zeke. So I am fully investing in this run game today as my key to victory.
Well, you know, we're going to talk about it. We're going to bring up the stats from StatMuse. You know, we're going to see our Cowboy cousins out there. So y'all tap in with us. Let us know where you're watching from. I know everybody should be game ready. You got about 40 minutes until kickoff. We've already had some NFL games underway. Make sure if you got your fantasy football lineups and you're in the playoffs this week, which I didn't make it. So shout out to all of the Green Badge supporters in the Fantasy Football Supporter League. Shout out to those folks playing. Make sure you get your lineup set. We got game time in less than 40 minutes. So y'all tap in with us. We are going to share the keys to victory today. As Bob said, he's going all in on the run. I like it, though. I think West Coast Cowboy put out something here this week talking about that, saying that, our chances of winning when we run the ball are pretty astronomical.
Oh, yeah, 100%. It's proven in fact.
Well, good deal, man. How's the weather down there, Bob?
It's cold. It's been about 20 for the last 3 days in a row, and we are going to hit negative 17 on Thursday.
Damn.
Yeah, so.
It's getting kind of cold out there. It's
getting
kind of cold here, too. It snowed already, and then it's dried up, and now it's back to cold. I mean, this manic depressive weather up here in the Pacific Northwest doesn't exactly know what it wants to do. But I hear it's pretty cold out there in Jacksonville today, too.
Yeah, it's definitely cool. It gets the northern part of Florida gets a little bit more cool, and the humidity is just as prevalent as it is in South Florida. So you wind up getting pretty damn cold, man.
I hear you. Y'all do me a favor, tap in and let us know where you're watching from. Give us a comment, give us a like, give us a share. Help this Dallas Cowboys audience muscle grow over here as we get into the keys to victory today. And Bob is pretty much give his first key to victory today is running the damn ball. And I'm happy with that. So if you got Tony Pollard, you got Ezekiel Elliott, you got to put them in your lineup today because they've both been scoring these last few games. Now, when it comes to the run game of the Jacksonville Jaguars, the Dallas Cowboys, y'all know my keys to victory is pretty much the same thing. We're going to have to stop that run. As you can see, Jacksonville Jaguars are averaging over 120 yards on the ground as we speak about hauling all things on the ground here today.
That said that earlier. Somebody
Shout out
said
to Joshua. Appreciate you tapping in from Dallas, Texas. We see Cedric tapping in from Jacksonville. What's the weather out there like there in Jacksonville? Let us know what the temperature is out there. Hey, Sherelle, good morning. How we doing? Appreciate you tapping in. On my green bed is tapping in. Hey, James, appreciate you tapping in from Spartanburg. Make sure you give us a share on your timeline as Bob and I get into the keys to victory today.
Joshua Shaw Young, where you at, Bob? If you're asking where I am geographically, I'm in Denver, Colorado.
Nelly says she's trying to watch, but won't play on her end. Close some of the windows. You might got too many windows. It's eating up too much data in your phone. It's causing it to crawl, Or maybe it might be your internet connection. I couldn't, could be one of those two things. But shout out to Nelly. Appreciate you tapping in with us. Hey, Lauren, appreciate you tapping in. Dallas born, Kentucky raised. We see you. He says 53. Oh, it ain't that bad out there. I see everybody out there in hoodies and ski masks.
It's Florida, man. Yeah. This is wintertime, man. They're dying out there. It's so cold at 50 degrees. Believe me.
Yep. Shout out to Austin, actually tapping in from Iowa. Appreciate you tapping in here with us today. We are live on 3 locations. We're live on Facebook. We're live on YouTube. And we are live on Twitter. That platform that Elon Musk owns now that everybody sooner or later probably going to get a blue check. Imagine that. They're going to be different colored checks. I heard they're going to break out the crayon box over there on Twitter, Bob.
So it's different colors for different strokes for different folks kind of thing?
Yeah, like you got to be verified. You get a blue check. I think a gold check is like a business. I mean, there's going to be levels to it, obviously, as, Elon Musk, who likes to go to space, has picked up this Twitter platform over there, and a lot of folks are talking about it. But we're tapping in with our keys to victory today. And like Bob says, running the damn ball on the Dallas side. We're going to start off on the offense or on the defensive side of the ball. We've got to stop the Jacksonville Jaguars today and keep them under 100 yards rushing. This should be manned on every team. The Dallas Cowboys should have the mentality of coming in to stop the run. We got to get ready for these Eagles come up next week. They got a couple of runners back there, especially in the quarterback, Jalen Hurts, and also their running backs. So containing and making sure that we, do a great job on defense and stopping this run here today, I believe is going to be another key to victory, as it has been these weeks moving up to week 15.
Yeah, Nelly, good looking out. I just said that, and that's really the reason why. I mean, even if that wasn't a statistic, if it was 14-2, some shit like that, we're still in a winning mode when Zeke runs the ball. And I think Zeke getting the ball 15 times can still equate to Zeke getting it 7 and Pollard getting it 7 or something like that. I think a mixture of at least 15 or so rushes between both of them would be good. But Zeke is that power pounding running back. Last week he was running all over the damn Texans. So I really do think that Zeke is one of the most important factors in this game. The fact that we picked up a big ass defensive tackle from Philly, dude's like 6'5", 350 pounds to fill the middle where Hankins left, and picking up another DB from, I believe it was Arizona, who was drafted by the Raiders. We've made some moves to shore up some of these position losses with Anthony Brown and some of these guys out, and the fact that I believe we're going to have, for the first time in a long time, Tyron Smith at right tackle is beautiful.
Yep.
Continuity is everything.
That's right, Bob. Appreciate you tapping on that. We're going to get on this offensive line as soon as we get off Jacksonville. What up, Noel? I see he says 35 degrees in New Jersey. Home of where the original 88 is from. So shout out Noel. I appreciate you tapping in here this morning. And he also says, keep down the penalties. You're right. We're going to talk about that on the discipline side of the house when we get to the Dallas Cowboys. But the keys to victory today, obviously, is stopping the run. Here, as you can see, the Jacksonville Jaguars, their threats are basically their run game. And now you hear, about this quarterback that they got. What's his name over there? This kid with all this long hair. What's his name? Trevor Lawrence. That's right. Trevor Lawrence. The kid with the long hair is supposed to be having a coming out party. And, I see a lot of folks out there saying that the Jaguars should upset the Dallas Cowboys. Now, we know that's just haters talk because everybody's hoping that somebody upsets the Dallas Cowboys. They were actually hoping the Houston Texans would upset us last week. But Dak Prescott came in, that game managing quarterback that everybody likes to say who he is, came down 11 plays, 98 yards, sealed the deal. Hopefully, the Dallas Cowboys will take that game from last week with the Houston Texans and fix it in this first half coming into the Jacksonville Jaguars. They've got to come out and have a better start in this first half. Wouldn't you agree, Bob? We came out a little flat against the Texans in that first half.
When we come out and hit them in the mouth at the beginning of the game, most of the time we win those games. That's the way it is. It doesn't need to be where Dak's trying to come back from behind, especially against a Texans team. But you all know, and anyone who says different's an idiot. The Texans played the hardest ball they've played the entire season last week against us, and they were throwing shit at us that they would never throw in a regular game if they were still contending for playoffs. So last week was a different sort of source, but I really think today Jacksonville presents a couple different problems. I don't feel like we can't win this game. I think there's really a huge chance we blow these fools out. And if Micah shows up, because he hasn't been showing up for the last couple of weeks, if he shows up and starts edge rushing and knocking Lawrence down, dude, that guy, they're gonna crumble. That's the way it is.
So I see a comment coming in here. I believe T.Y. Hilton is in today. I'm looking at the Dallas Cowboys injury report. It does not have T.Y. as being active or injured, rather. He's not injured, but obviously coming off. I believe he's playing today. Somebody help me out with that. It looks like
he's inactive. He didn't. He didn't get the. He spent a couple days trying to get the enormity of the playbook, and I guess maybe that didn't happen. So they're gonna hold him off so he can absorb more, because they really want him to be not only somebody who knows all the plays, but someone who can actually be sort of a coach on the field with the other players. So.
Good deal. Appreciate you, TJ, for keeping me honest. So we got it there. T.Y. Hilton is active. I love the signing. Let's talk about that signing a little bit, because, a lot of folks, and even I thought, well, damn, we signed T.Y. Hilton, so maybe this OBJ train will run out of gas. Well, here comes our owner again with the dumb shit saying, well, we're not done with OBJ, and quite frankly, he is going to join the Dallas Cowboys. Why will Jerry Jones not let this shit go? We've already heard he's not probably going to play this regular season. Bob, what is the deal with Jerry and this? He's being fixated to OBJ.
Well, we don't get to see maybe the statistics that Jerry sees when he mentions a free agent of OBJ's caliber and attaches them to the Cowboys, how much attention comes to the Dallas Cowboys when he does that. So we all know Jerry's a master at that shit. So that's definitely a big part of it. There's also a really good chance that we do sign him at the end of December, beginning of January. The deal, I really think the reason why we got T.Y. is because we knew damn well OBJ wasn't healthy enough to play right now and would not play right now, and already voiced his opinion to do that. So T.Y. was sort of that bring someone in that can help us right now and still bring in OBJ. But I have a theory too, and Eric B brought this up yesterday when we were talking deeply about this game, and he's been relatively disappointed with Turpin. And his inability to get us the field position we thought he would, and especially that fumble. And he's thinking T.Y. Hilton might have been brought in to sort of spell him punt returns, kick returns, and stuff like that. Because Ty had some massive success doing that for Indy. So there's a possibility they do that. I don't know if you put a 33-year-old in a punt return, kick return situation, but if he can get it, I mean, I don't know. But Ty had a two-prong addition reason for getting into this team.
Yeah, we know we hit, last week we seen Cavante with that muff punt there, and, his name's been in the mud this week. The Dallas Cowboys signed him because he was the USFL MVP in punt returns and kick returns. So granted, the guy fumbled, and, that put us in a bad position against the Houston Texans coming out in that first half. I think he'll right the ship. Hopefully we see a flash of Cavante Turpin. We need to see the special teams get back in the action, maybe a kickoff return or a punt return today. But I'm glad that you bring that up. Great segue. I like the Ty signing too as well. Great veteran leadership. I think he's been in the league 9 years, made the Pro Bowl a few years.
He's a good guy.
Great veteran to have on there also as a mentor. Plus, he's wide receiver 3-4, so he can come in and give us a play when we need a play, or it can be a decoy or what have you. But I heard this week he was really in the Star about 10 plus hours a day trying to get the language down. I've seen some feedback on Dak Prescott saying that he was working with him one-on-one. They're getting him up to speed. So he's inactive today. So make sure if you got him in fantasy football, you don't play Ty today, and you get him out of your lineups. But James is tapping in. He says, I think Jerry like us to buy up the media all the time. I don't think we need him. I think he's talking about OBJ there. Appreciate you, James, tapping in. This is my theory with Jerry and this OBJ shit. I think Jerry's doing the league a favor. They knew OBJ. I knew OBJ wasn't going to be able to play until mid to late December, which here we are, December 18th. And OBJ is not playing. I said about a week or so ago, if the Dallas Cowboys were to sign OBJ, could he play against the Texans? Well, we knew that couldn't happen. But I believe Jerry is keeping hope alive with OBJ, especially when it comes to national news for the NFL, because OBJ is a very big star. In case you don't know, on social media, especially on Instagram, he's got about 17 plus million followers. So maybe Jerry's just out there capping for the league and keeping OBJ alive, because I really don't even think we're going to sign OBJ come postseason.
I don't know where we're going to get the money.
Exactly. I don't know when we've got Tony Pollard up on the chopping block, CeeDee Lamb, Zeke's
LVE.
money. That stuff is all going to be changing up. So
LVE just came off a 14 tackle game at the end of his last regular season with the Cowboys, until we decide to re-sign him. If we decide to do that, there's a handful of players that have been really, really adding to this team that we're going to have to re-sign. I don't know. Excuse me. Maybe Dak steps up and goes, I will restructure to bring in OBJ into this fold so that we're not losing our ass right off the bat. But I don't know. At this point, really, that's all that stuff that we, everybody outside the Cowboys fan base can focus on that shit. The internal people like us who are watching this know that that's just a distraction for us. We got TY because he can add to the team right now. Focus on getting that guy to be a leader. And then maybe later on we talk about OBJ. But let me tell you, if the Cowboys are looking past Jacksonville right now towards Philly, we're going to be in a lot of trouble. So I really, really hope that they're focusing hard on this team.
Joshua says, heard they were signing OBJ to rehab. Yeah, I heard that too. Me and you probably follow the same folks. But I agree with you 100%, Bob. As we look at these Dallas Cowboys now, we talked about stopping the Jacksonville run game. Jacksonville's been averaging about 22 points a game. The Dallas Cowboys defense has been holding teams to 17.6 points a game. I got a question. Does anybody know where are the odds on Dallas today visiting Jacksonville on the road? What are the Vegas odds out there? Where are all my bettors at? Where are all my sharks at? What are the odds on Dallas winning? What are they favored by today in Jacksonville? Can anybody help us out? TJ says, this is definitely the definition of a trap game. Can't overlook these guys. Yeah, Houston Texans were too as well. And I think that the Dallas Cowboys playing to the level of, thank you, TJ, by the way. I think the Dallas Cowboys playing down to the level of our opponents is our biggest problem. That's why we've got that. We can't replicate what we did with Houston last week in this first half. They have to come out and punch Jacksonville square in the mouth and knock out a couple of teeth in the first half. Like, we can't allow Trevor Lawrence to get off in front of the home crowd, which I heard, by the way, 70% packed with Cowboy fans at TIAA Stadium today.
Yeah, they try to make it a blackout. That shit ain't going to work with all the white jerseys in there.
Appreciate that. TJ says we're favored by 4 points today. So I guess Vegas dropped that spread down a little. So let's talk score predictions. Hell, mine was 34-21 coming off the bat. So that's 55 points. And, that's clearly the Dallas Cowboys should cover the spread. The Dallas Cowboys have been averaging 27.7. If we can hold Jacksonville to under 20 points, like I said, our average is 17.6. You got defenses out there like San Francisco and the Philadelphia Eagles and the Dallas Cowboys, these top-rated defenses. Dallas has to hold this offense under 17 points today. Got to get that average back down. So hopefully this Jekyll and Hyde team that comes out, we've got to see this Jekyll come out and punch them in the mouth, baby.
I got Cowboys 28-7.
I like it. 28-7. It'd be really nice if we could just blank somebody. That would make a statement. And if you blank somebody like a Jacksonville Jaguars team today, that makes that average go down significantly. The Dallas Cowboys could blank the Jacksonville Jaguars today. They probably will come in next week going into week 16 as the best defense, holding teams to the least amount of points in the league.
This year is definitely odd with teams. Usually there's momentum and streaks. Besides the Eagles, everybody else is sort of back and forth and stuff like that. And, the fact that we were so dominant against the Minnesota Vikings, and so were the Colts in the first half of yesterday's game.
Talk about Vikings and Colts, man.
You know what I'm saying? It's just one of those weird things where people are going to say, like, oh, you barely beat this guy. You barely beat – the fact of the matter is this. Our team's finding ways to win games. That shit hasn't happened all the time, man. And Dak leading that 98-yard drive it should have shut so many people up, but it didn't. And that's cool. It made me say, oh, Bob, you actually know what you're talking about sometimes, because Dak can do that for us. But you're right. Today's got to be one of those days where we don't make Dak do that. I want to see Cooper Rush in the fourth quarter is what I want to see today.
Yeah, definitely. Hopefully these four opponents that we talk about every week, we got the Jaguars lining up across the line from us today. You still got the injury opponent. As we heard, Tyron Smith is coming back today. We took some injuries, significant injuries over the last couple of weeks. We lost Anthony Brown. We lost Terrence Steele. A handful of others that got nicked up and came back that have been on that injury report. But TJ says, speak it into existence, BG. I want a punt kickoff return today. I mean, Turpin's got to show up, baby. I would have thought by now, this late in the season, we would have seen a punt return or a kick return or two.
I'm a little nervous and excited at the same time because today I had a dilemma with my fantasy league, and I'm not going to get off topic here, but I have the choice of either starting Burrow or Prescott. Prescott's slated to get some more points, but his inconsistency and this team's inconsistency stopped me from starting him today. I still don't know whether I'm going to do it or not.
Bro,
I have a feeling.
If you're hollering run the ball, bro, I wouldn't run Dak Prescott. I'd probably run Burrow because Burrow's been lighting it up over there since we handed him. I don't know how many sacks that was week 2, but Burrow's come on a lot. He's there. The Cincinnati Bengals are in the top 5 of some ranking reports now in the NFL period.
Yep, that's how we got to bring it.
And Tomas is checking in, a Charger fan there. Says, Jags crushed them as Chargers. He hopes the Cowboys win today. Appreciate you tapping in. Tomas is a Green Bay supporter. You don't have to be a Dallas Cowboy fan to support the content here. Don't be a freeloader here on game days. Don't be a freeloader of the content because Bob and I go to work here on the channel for everybody. So make sure you hit that green badge and become a supporter. Thank you, Tomas, for being the first supporter of another NFL football team not named the Dallas Cowboys. Cole Mercy, that's a hell of a name. Says, last game we started off bad with the Texans. Let's go today. I'm with you. We definitely can't start off cold in this first half. That's been kind of our Achilles heels. How are we going to, basically in that, how Micah set that tempo against that Minnesota team when he sacked Cousins and got that turnover, that fumble there. The Dallas Cowboys are going to have to come out maybe defensively, maybe a special teams from the kickoff or something, punch them in the mouth. We're going to have to make this game look a little bit different. And you got to remember, we got Philadelphia on deck less than a week away on Christmas Eve. So the Dallas Cowboys have to have a good showing of playing complementary football today on all 3 phases of the game. If not, it's going to be a lot of question marks coming in because now we see the Chicago Bears are playing the Philadelphia Eagles today. And I'm hoping maybe Justin Fields could run all over Philadelphia, but we'll see how that pans out. And then you also got the Giants and the Commanders and other NFC East news playing today.
James Holland's bringing in that good point, man. And we were always talking about, how Anthony Brand was underrated, but it really isn't true. It's the fact that there's just so many bad people behind him that when he goes down, we're in for issues. But Kelvin Joseph has definitely been underperforming a little bit, so we need him to definitely step up a bit.
Shout out to Sam, the ad man, checking in. Appreciate you checking in, Sam. I know Sam was at that Houston game. He won some tickets to that last game. I know he was out there big kicking it. Jesse said he got to watch these pesky birds. So that a lot of folks are going to be keeping their eye on that game. As we got about less than 20 minutes for kickoff here today, we've been going over our keys to victory. Nothing's pretty much changed. Dallas Cowboys have to stop the Jacksonville Jaguars, keep them under 100 yards rushing, and we need to keep them under 17 points on par. My goal is that we blank them today. Should we be able to shut them out? That should send a strong message going into Week 16, because didn't the Eagles play the Jacksonville Jaguars already?
I believe they did.
I think they had to come from behind to win that game, right?
Yeah, and that's the sort of weird thing about the Jaguars, man. They're the Jaguars, but they're actually a better version of the Jaguars right now. So they also are about as inconsistent as we are. Now their highs aren't exactly as high as ours, but they have a tendency to fall apart as well. And I think if our pass rush coupled with our run game today could really leave them in a position to not be able to do much.
Appreciate you, Angela. Thank you for tapping in. Patrick is saying Cowboys need to play hard and strong. Dak needs to play better. All I need to do is Dak play good enough to win like he did 11 yards or 11 plays for 98 yards. It's funny how the media is propping up this guy named Mr. Irrelevant over there with the San Francisco 49ers. See how the media do you? When Dak does it, it's he's a game manager. But some new kid named Brock Purdy who beat up on the GOAT, that's mainstream headline news for some reason. But we know how they do.
Always switching it up.
James says Cowboys need to rush the ball at least 25 times today. I agree. Half and half. Split it down the middle. That's going to be the question is, our offensive coordinator, Kellen Moore, going to come out with a run-heavy game today, or is he going to try to get pass-happy? I swear, because he was a pass-happy quarterback at Boise State, sometimes he likes to try to get his Twitter fingers on some trigger fingers when it comes to calling plays.
Drives me crazy, man. Drives us all crazy. I know this. What did someone say here? Topic. There we go. Win and in. After that, what's the attitude? Sit out players. We got the Eagles. So, I don't think we have for the rest of the season. Let's just say we're in if we win today. He's asking if we sit players. We can't do that. We've still got to beat a division rival for the last 2 games of our season. So there's no way we sit people. We're going to have to go hard to the last game of this season because it's Philadelphia and then Washington. And,
there's a bunch of scenarios today that if we win in Jacksonville that we could possibly clinch. Now, we know the division is still up for grabs. Contrary to what a lot of Eagles fans want to tell you, they haven't clinched the division yet.
Yeah, it can go south for them.
A playoff berth. So let's just get that right here. The NFC East is still up for grabs. We've seen it's been 17 years since somebody's won this division back-to-back. Dallas Cowboys got to make a statement today. They got to go at home on Christmas Eve and beat the Eagles so we can see, can we win this division back-to-back?
It'd be nice. It would definitely be nice. I think that time when the last time someone did it back-to-back was when Philly, I think, did it 4 years in a row.
Correct. Yeah.
God.
Philly was the last NFC East team to win back-to-back 17 years ago, I believe 2006 or something like that, 2005, 6, 7, something like that. And so with that being said, the Dallas Cowboys haven't made the postseason back-to-back in 15 years. So a lot on the line when it comes to back-to-backs, not just them Super Bowls that we talk about with the Dallas Cowboys, the NFC beast. Nobody's talking about the NFC least no more. Funny how the media does you, right?
Yeah, they're living off us.
TJ says, we can still win the East. We definitely can't sit if we win today. The 1 seed is better than the 5 seed. I agree. Dallas Cowboys have got to take our fate in our own hands. I know you hate it just as much as I've hated it. In years past, we've always got to rely on some scenarios to get into the playoffs. This team got to lose. That team got to win. These two teams got to fucking tie. They got to play on Thursday night 2 hours early. One player's got to stop at halftime and go take a shit in order for the Dallas Cowboys to make the playoffs. How many of y'all remember them types of scenarios? I hate that. Dallas Cowboys have got to make a statement today and get ready for these Eagles. We've got to take control of our own destiny.
Well, I'll tell you this much. I don't know. It's been a while since we've had a team like this who have had a consistency in offense and defense. Well, not so much in offense, but a dominant enough defense where, that kind of throws that theory out the window, man. It's happened before because we just haven't had very good continuity on offense and defense. But this is the 1 year where we truly control the destiny, where we should get into it based on what we do, not what somebody else does. And that's really good.
Complimentary football, dog. I'm telling you, we got to see something from special teams today to know that special teams unit. I mean, we know Maher's. I mean, he got me a lot of money this season. Maher was a good pick for fantasy football. Maher did a lot better than folks thought he would on his second time around with the Dallas Cowboys. He was especially money this season, especially from long. But we need to see a Cavante Turpin sighting. And I'm curious to what you're talking about with TY and these special teams. Maybe that might be the difference with a veteran in Cavante's ear over there, and also with these wide receivers. As we got CD Lamb acting wide receiver 1 now, you got Michael Gallup out there budding, and the safety blanket with Dalton Schultz still. You're right. A lot of complimentary football on all sides of the ball, offense, defense, and special teams. We know the defense is going to show up. Hopefully they can set the tone, or maybe a special teams play out the gate, set the tone. Can we blank the Jaguars at home? Perfect way to go into Christmas Eve, because ho, ho, ho. Dak is coming home with a whole bunch of gifts, because the Eagles, they've been running their mouth about beating up on our backup, but they ain't seen daddy yet.
Yeah, buddy. I don't know. Today's I have a good feeling about today. I don't know. We were watching that Miami game last night, and I hear a lot of comparisons between Tua and Dak. I don't really. I guess the gameplay, he does remind me of a young Dak, when Dak was able to run around a little bit more, or wanted to run around a little bit more. But the electricity that was shown in that game last night on the Miami Dolphins side, who the Miami Dolphins historically have been kind of bad for a long time. So they've been getting great draft picks for a long time. That's the excitement that I'm looking for on our team. It almost seems like we do things in a clinical way. On the offense. The defense does have that electricity, but the offense seems to be a little bit more clinical, and I'm sure that has a lot to do with many factors, but I want to see the electricity like I saw on the Dolphins playing in freezing cold weather against Buffalo last night. That kind of stuff is what I need to see from the Cowboys, because that truly will cement our ability to be in a postseason game and win it and keep going. Give Dak 2 playoff wins.
I hear you 100%. Tanya's tapping in. The invasion. That's right. Check out Mara says, friends are at the game, said it's mostly Dallas Cowboy fans. I told you I've gotten some temp checks already. About 70% of that stadium, I've seen footage, boots on ground. A lot of Cowboy fans out there today. So invading Jacksonville, they forget it's a lot of Navy out there. Like, I got a good buddy of mine that's on active duty. He's out there at the game. A couple of guys that retired. So a lot of Navy, a lot of military are out there too. A lot of Cowboy fans. And this is why we are called America's team. For the other 31 that follow the content here, this is how we got the name America's team. Because not only do our fans travel, they just happen to live at all of the other 31 NFL stadiums in this nation. It's not that because we won 5 Super Bowls. So make sure you know your history on how we got the term or the name America's team. It's because, they look like movie stars. They look like presidents. Every stadium you go to across the nation, they are there. You know how it goes from John Cinda.
Hey, let me tell you, a real quick story. The real reason why I think there's so many Cowboys fans out there in Jacksonville right now is because growing up in Miami, Miami Dolphins and Dallas Cowboys were the 2 teams everyone loved growing up there. It had a lot to do with the Hispanic influence of people coming from Cuba to America, and they wanted to attach themselves to the most American thing they can find. and it was the Dallas Cowboys. So there was a massive Cowboys presence in Florida growing up, and it's not surprising to see that it still is that way, because that's just the way it was. It's obviously a huge Hispanic influence and population in Florida, and that's exactly what fueled the Dallas Cowboys uprising out there.
That is 100% correct, because a lot of folks don't realize how many Cowboy fans are out there in Arizona. But I guarantee you, should the Dallas Cowboys make a postseason run and get to Arizona this year, it's probably going to be a home game for Arizona in Super Bowl 57. But before we get out of here today, I see the comments coming in. I guess the World Cup is being shown on Fox. If they don't cut to the game, make sure you go to Dofu Sports app. Shout out to Mike Rock. That's one of the options here that you can use if you don't have the ability to watch the game. If you got an internet connection and got your phone, download the Dofu Sports app. It's free. You don't have to put any credit card information. If you do, you're on the wrong one. Make sure you go and check that out. But I don't know, based on what the comments are coming in, they're saying that this World Cup is on Fox, as the game is scheduled to be on Fox here today too. So if you're not picking it up in your local areas, make sure you go to Dofu Sports app, or you can tap in and just follow us here on Built Different Group. Every quarter I'll post the score. I'll be live at halftime, and Bob and I are going to be live on the post game.
You know it.
And that's pretty much been our show here, the pregame show. We got about 8 minutes or so before kickoff. We talked about the keys to victory today. Nothing new here, y'all. Same sheet of music. Dallas Cowboys hold the Jacksonville Jaguars under 100 yards, and the Dallas Cowboys need to remain disciplined. We only had 3 penalties in that last game. Can the Dallas Cowboys not allow the refs, the injury opponent, and Vegas, which were favored, by 3.5, 4 points here today? Can Dallas knock out all of these opponents in this game today? I predict that we'll do it in that first half. Like I said, my score, 34-21, is going to be my overall score. I'm giving them a little bit more than I should, but because we know if Cooper Rush comes in at the last part of the game, could be some garbage time points that makes it look like it's a totally different game, if you know what I mean. You got any shout-outs before we get out of here today, Bob?
Man, I'm nervous. I'm happy. I'm excited. I'm getting the holiday feeling, man. I got a bunch of stuff going through my mind right now, a little bit of the holiday blues. Everything's going crazy. I'm hoping the Cowboys ground me today. So shout out to the whole Cowboys world and to all you folks that continuously watch this pregame that we put on before games. We really do appreciate all the support.
And lastly, no, we are not streaming the game. Go to the Dofu Sports app, Joel, unless somebody's streaming it. Nobody here, Bob or I, we don't do that anymore. If anybody else does that, you may catch a live stream somewhere else, but go to the Dofu Sports app. If you want to be able to watch the game, if you don't have the ability to watch the game, nobody streams games anymore. Facebook and YouTube have picked that up, and that's a quick way to get your ass knocked off these Facebook streets. But I'm BG. That's my partner named Bob. We had the keys to victory over here today. Make sure you turn on your notifications and tune in with us on the post-game show, because win, lose, or tie, Bob and I, we're going to go live. We'll see y'all on the next episode.
Go Cowboys.